So, a little bit later of an upload than normal because I was at my mate's house watching the game, but it ends Rangers 0, Genk 2, and it was always going to be that man in photo that was going to score tonight if Genk were going to score. Oh, former Celtic striker did finally find the back of the net after several chances, including a missed penalty in the first half as well. But this is yet another defeat for Russell Martin's Rangers. Yes, they did go down to 10 men thanks to a terrible tackle from Mohamed Diamande. Can have no complaints about it, although he did try to complain really heavily when it happened. It was just towards the end of the first half that happened. There was the controversial decision as well in the first half. A couple, actually, but we'll get to them in a second. First of all, if you are new around here, please consider checking out some of the other content on the channel, including the SPFL RTG on FC26, which a new episode of that will be uploaded tomorrow as well, and some other football content related on the channel too. But in terms of the game itself, it was pretty end-to-end when it was even teams, in fairness. A lot of chances for both sides. There was an unbelievable overhead kick clearance from one of the Genk players. A ball in, John Suter. It's a good header back across. It looks goal bound all day, and it's an unbelievable clearance from the Genk player. One of the best I've ever seen, and I think Ali McCoy said that on commentary as well. It was ridiculous. Rangers had a couple of other chances. There was one in particular where it looked like it was going to be much better for Raskin to try and hit, and Mikey Moore just struck it with his left foot. He's not had a great impact at all in a Rangers jersey yet, and I think he probably would be in line to be dropped for the game against Livingston at the weekend. We'll see how Martin approaches that. Chermiti started this game over Miovski, did not impress at all for me. Looks so far like a big waste of money, but we'll see if he can turn that around. Rangers getting cut open with a few passes again, though, like we've seen consistently this season. And it looks like Genk set up with that, studied their opponents well. Had a shot that was about 6 yards out that he really should be doing better with. It's a good cross from the Genk teammate as well. I don't know his name, unfortunately. But Rangers very nearly had a penalty in the first half. VAR intervened, asking the referee to go over the monitor. It was a ball to the back stick. James Tavernier heads it down, and it comes off the arm of the Genk defender. For me, that's not the type of thing that should be getting given as a penalty. He isn't even looking at it, but it does hit his arm, and it's in an unnatural position. The referee's justification for not giving it, however, was a push by James Tavernier. It was a slight push, but he does push him, so I suppose there's that, and it was a good cop-out to not give the penalty, which would have been pretty harsh for that kind of incident. And it was not long after that O had the incident where he very nearly scored. And then a few minutes later after that is when Mohamed Diamande gets sent off. He comes in, studs up high on the just about mid part of the shin, you would say, and I have to say, in real time, it didn't look like a red card, but the referee got it right, and then the replays showed that to be the case as well, so no complaints can be had. And then Rangers do concede a penalty just before half-time as well. Originally, when we were looking at it, it looked like we were focusing on whether Tavernier pulled him back or not, and we thought there wasn't enough in it for a penalty to be given. But when you slow it down and saw that he clipped his ankle, it is a penalty. And is the one that stepped up, and we were saying before it that Butland had a good record from the spot, and he did save it. It's a nice height for him. It's hit with plenty of power, but I expected him to miss with the game that he'd had up to that point. In all honesty, a couple of chances missed. Half time, 0-0. They come back out, and from there, Rangers huffed and puffed, but Genk just cutting them open with every ball forward, basically, and eventually it paid dividends where the ball was put through to who had missed a big chance as well after that of a cutback before this, and then it's a really good finish. His goal, actually, he takes on his weaker left foot and finishes past Jack Butland for 1-0. And it could have been 2-0, but there was a slight offside in the build-up, and it was that would have grabbed the double, with that being the case if it had stood. Rangers, towards the end, were just lumping balls forward, trying to get someone on the end of it. It just wasn't paying off for them, and at the very end of the game they lumped one last free kick into the box and the keeper claimed it. Full time, there was the boos from the fans again and chanting for Martin to leave the club. I don't think this will be the result that gets him sacked, to be honest. I think he will bank himself saying, well, the red card changes the game, blah, blah, blah. But the Livingston game was already huge at the weekend, of course, with their league standing being 11th place, potentially 12th if Aberdeen can get their act together and score enough goals to overtake Rangers on goal difference anyway. But Livingston's always a tough game, so we'll see what happens at the end of that game anyway, and whether or not Russell Martin's still in the job after that game. But I don't think this will be the game to get him sacked. He can hang his hat on the red card, if you like. Thank you very much for watching. If you are new round here, please consider checking out some of the other content on the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one.